The success mantra I will say is that I am a self-motivated guy and I have a lot of perseverance. You will have to do what you like. So I like this job. It is very clear and important for every profession to be updated periodically.
Hello everyone, welcome to StartupLanes. I am Sonal Pathak, Investment Banking Associate at StartupLanes, and today we are so thrilled and so excited to have a conversation with Mr. Krishnan Venkatachary, who is Chief Financial Officer at Cigniti Technologies. Mr. Krishnan Venkatachary brings to Cigniti 25 years of experience spanning across global financial operations and operational leadership experience across IT, ITES, pharma and healthcare, FMCG and allied industries. He is a qualified ACA, ACS and FCMA. He headed entire finance, accounting, HRD, IT and corporate legal departments in the organization he worked with. Krishnan is known for his energetic and innovative leadership across financial management, operations, secretarial, and legal functions. So, without further ado, let's welcome this brilliant personality to our platform. Hello, sir, and very welcome to Startup Lanes.
Good afternoon, Sonal, and good afternoon to all the viewers. Pleasure chatting up with you all. Please go ahead, Sonal.
So, sir, first of all, please tell us more about your journey. What was your journey all about? And getting to the position where you are right now, how easy or difficult was it for you?
Something interesting, basically. I would every choice in life basically is a journey by itself, and you'll have to work towards it. So I wouldn't call it whether it is the tough or easy. It depends on comparison as to what we do between the two given objects or two given situations or whatever it is. I strongly feel that everything is an experience, basically. I always have aimed at working towards what I need to achieve. And I've tried, sometimes it has taken a longer iterations, and I'm not an exception. Sometimes it has taken a much shorter time than what I have expected. I started my journey. I've been from born and brought up in Chennai, and did my chartered accountancy and equipped myself with cost accountancy and company secretaryship. As I started spanning off the employment, I felt the need of these three. To be into a position as a CFO, if we need to get through, I think we need to gain all these knowledge and credentials as a feather in the cap. So that made me push around to do, even at the late 30s, to enroll for the company secretaryships and then complete it out. So that made us, and then I made my progress of the journey step by step in terms of each and every area. But I think I've stick to a few principles in terms of trying to understand is that you will have to do what you like. So I like this job, what I do, basically. So I aimed for it, and I have to need to get there. I thought that what is that something special I can be very clearly. The something special which can come in along with your academics, along with your capabilities, is basically is that you need to be a problem solver. So I choose to be a problem solver in every area of field, though be it family or be it the official space. So so that I am much sought after, so that I can try to provide solution, because providing solution makes you do innovation, makes you understand the world better. So that's a whole what do you call, the whole basis behind it, which I would call quote unquote in terms of my progress in the journey. Of course, I definitely give credit to my family members and to my wife in terms of supporting me heavily for doing this. But I think it's what more important is that trying to be a problem solver. What I do is that I dissect the problem and try to give solutions very clearly, so that we know that it's a learning process. At the same time, we'll be able to address solutions, and people look at you as, okay, here is a guy where we can go and where we can try to get through and do things.
That's a very beautiful way of looking at it, sir, I would say. So, next question, something related to this one only. So, sir, have you ever faced difficulties in your life? I mean, most of the people, there is a phase in their life when they are kind of very broken, or they face very friction in their life. So, did you face such phase in your life? And how did you get out of that phase?
It's very simple. Basically, I wouldn't call it clearly, as I told you earlier also, basically. difficulties is a word basically which is used. It's not because I'm in a position today and then I'm trying to talk about it out. Every stage of life, what is the means available, try to utilize that and be happy with the means what is available and how do we get to the next level. So which means that I'm not a born rich guy, but invariably I've been given from a middle class family, I've been given an opportunity to study. I use that as an opportunity, basically, what is available within. And I have not drawn comparison to anyone. I don't compare myself. I always feel that I'm the best. I don't compare myself with anyone. And I always don't also envy about anyone very clearly, because I always look at what I need to achieve and how do we get there clearly. So difficulties, each one will run through situations, whether you term it difficult, whether you term it positive, negative, all that is adjectives and adverbs, which each one provide very clearly. I also had some scenarios very clearly where I have to be temporarily for about 1.5 years or so. I need to be out of employment on account of closing down of the company where I worked and things like that. And it was definitely a long stretched period of 1.5 years or so to really get back into the mode of trying to get into a suitable employment after aligning with what is your expectations and what we are doing and what we are trying to get to the area. But then I use that as a period basically is that if I can add more skill base during those period and start working towards it, and I was able to come over. I was much more calm, and I started thinking beyond a level, which made me more determined and more solidified person in terms of trying to get through and address any kind of a situation. So the calmness, thinking, and then trying to connect with people and trying to get through to the the objective what you wanted to attain helped me to get back what I want.
So my next question is, which are your favorite books and what are your key takeaways from those books?
I would not count any. I'm not a bookie. I don't really get inspired book. I'm a TV buff and I keep watching a lot. But then my favorite, I would say basically is that my favorite is that I always read chapters from Mahabharata, and my simple principles basically, because it gives life's principle. How much ever is extracted out in any books, I think it all comes from this whole Mahabharata. So I've been born and brought up in Sri Rangam, and my grandmother has inculcated very clearly the epics of both Mahabharata and Ramayana. And I always guided by the principle over there. I get inspired, and even in any of my lectures, what I do in my office or elsewhere in private places, I always quote something relating to Mahabharata, which is to my liking. And I always have shaped myself as a leader, looking at the principles of Mahabharata which has come through. So I can't say that one key takeaway or two or three or whatever it is, because I think it's an ocean. And I definitely try to work around the situation by always getting back to that. And then adding to that, probably what inspires me is that a few of the spiritual gurus' lectures, which I don't want to name it specifically here, but few of the people who talk on Bhagavad Gita inspires me very clearly.
So as you talked of Mahabharata, I would ask you, which is your favorite character from Mahabharata and why?
My favorite character completely always has been Lord Krishna. Clearly. And one, it resonates my name, that is on the joking side, on the lighter side. Two is that basically that he's a clear thinker. Thinking ahead is the biggest quality, and is a problem solver. So that inspires me. And he says that when you are duty bound to do your duty. Simple. When you have assumed a role, please you assume a role as a leader. When you assume the role as a ruler, please do your duty. You will have to do it for the people first. Then you'll have to think about you. So I think that is something interesting which I like. Yeah.
So now coming to your professional front, I would ask you, how important is it to keep yourself updated? And how do you keep yourself updated?
Yeah, it is very clear and important for every profession to be updated periodically. The periodicity depends on whatever you decide, but I think you will get outdated very clearly if you are not getting updated yourself invariably. So the moment you update, your knowledge base widens. When your knowledge base widens, invariably you are able to contribute much better to the organization. So what I do basically is that I have on the secretarial side, on the finance side, on the accounting side, I'm enrolled in all the forums very clearly. And whether it is a CFO forum or wherever it is, and then I keep attending management lectures, and I try to draw what you call knowledge from all these updates coming through. Either through, you have these days the exposure to social media is quite high, so there are processes by which, and I do a compulsory update of all my what you call institute and other magazines which is coming through invariably, so that that gives me more on the subject. On the management side, whatever comes through in the specific circles which comes through for me, I think on a periodical basis we try to I try to do that. So I definitely stress that 100% that knowledge updation is very important for each and every person.
So, sir, what is your success mantra? I mean, is there any particular quote that you always carry with yourself?
Yeah, see, I don't carry any quote off from my mind basically. So even for this interview, I'm not prepared absolutely, because I know that I can come and deal with any situation clearly. So I have that confidence very clearly that I can deal with the situation. The success mantra I will say is that I'm a self-motivated guy, and I have a lot of perseverance. I don't leave any job unfinished. When I take up an assignment, I give it a try till the last moment very clearly, and I just can't leave things. So I do, and then as a team leader, I always empathize with the team, get down to their level to teach them, and I'm not worried whether the knowledge is getting passed and what will happen to me. So that is not a fear. I always feel that I should have more qualified people around me so that they can do the job much better. And I can start looking at thinking and providing the thought leadership. Clearly.
So there's one question, that how can your followers become like you? What they need to do, how they need to think?
I wouldn't put myself in a pedestal saying that somebody else has to follow me and things like that. Rather, I would like to look at some leaders or some even my colleagues or my teammates to look at each and every day. I always look at and try to learn few good qualities to assimilate myself into it. I always say that if you are trying, you can't just follow one leader and emulate it out basically. All you have to do is that take good things and assimilate and customize yourself to be a unique person trying to be in any field, whether it is a personal life or when it is in the official life. It's very important that we need to customize and emulate rather than simply following and then doing what the leader has done and continue to keep doing. I think you become mundane and routine, and you will be outdated very fast.
So, sir, what is your daily routine? How many hours you work every day?
My day routine starts at about 5:15, 5:20. If you look at it on my personal life, is that I am a practitioner of yoga over the last 15 years. Okay. And then I do my and I balance under a tutor guidance, and then I do my general core walking exercise for about 4 kilometers, because essential to keep my mind fresh. And post which, basically, I believe in a policy where our operations span globally, and we commence the day at about close to 9:30 or so. Till 9:30, I have my house course, and then at 9:30 when we start, I try to cut it off by about 6:30 to give some family time out post 6:30. But occasionally it happens to we try to spend time on the official work, but I think that is occasional. But invariably, when you have the right set of people below you and when you delegate, I don't think there is a process. When you have a process-dependent organization, when you're building a process around the team where you're working around, and then with checks and balances, I think you don't need to micromanage. Probably you can balance your professional and personal life comfortably. Yeah.
So as you talk of yoga and fitness, I think this is one thing that your young followers can take with you. Also, it is often seen that the young professionals and the young bloods, when they start working, they kind of don't think about their health at all. They totally ignore it. They only keep working all the time. So what do you want to say at this? What's your take on it?
I think I'm a classic example. I did that and then probably invited few health issues, and then that is which I converted back into the traditional methodology of my yoga and the exercise. I think self-care is more important. When you do a self-care, and when you do that, you will have a calm mind, you will have a fresh mind, you will have a creative mind for you to start approaching your the work sphere and personal family sphere in a much more what you call a structured manner. So I would advise all the younger generation currently is that while I appreciate and I also have updated myself in the social media beyond a level, you have a restricted time. I don't touch my social media channels as a principle from night 10 o'clock to mornings, say 7 o'clock or so. As a principle, I don't touch unless and until there is an emergency, but I don't touch that basically. And then it doesn't come to my bedroom, it stays only in the hall. My entire social media sphere, no electronics in the room where we live. So invariably, that is please practice, spend some time. I would urge them to walk around, interact with people, more interaction, self-care, more interaction with people, trying to understand people and be in the present world rather than trying to be around the electronic world.
So, sir, there is often one thing that you just talk about, the discipline, which I can see in your lifestyle. So how important is discipline in somebody's life?
I think our elders have already have practiced it, and we have seen most of the successful people. They have been very successful basically following certain discipline. You follow a discipline in your health, you follow a discipline in maintaining the relationship, you follow a discipline in your principles in terms of you follow the discipline in trying to work in the atmosphere, professional atmosphere. So I think following the discipline, structuring themselves and whatever it might be in order or whatever, but I think each one has to have a set of discipline rules clearly, and it's very, very important for anyone to be successful. I think he has to devise a discipline, and I don't say that simply follow these rules or whatever it is, but follow a discipline which is suitable, which is good, which is to the situation, and then adhere to it systematically. I think then you'll be more structured and you'll be more successful.
Right now, it's often seen that the professional or the corporate world is divided into two parts. There's one section which believes in the work-life balance philosophy, and others say that no, there's no need for this. So, what's your take on it?
I think I would say that I strongly believe that basically we work, we earn for us to definitely go back to the family and enjoy the life, clearly.
Yes, so definitely we do.
Sure. So which means that you may call whatever name as work-life balance or whatever it is. So you need to have, it's a human brain. It's like a machine basically. So you can't work beyond hours basically. And you might sometimes think that I'm young enough, I will stretch. So you're putting a strain on the machine basically to start stretching beyond a level. And you will earn, no doubt about it. You will earn clearly. But then you need to have the wherewithal to really go ahead and experience it out basically. So I strongly have advocated a principle from my first employment basically as a work-life balance. I still continue it, and that is where the happiness is, that I've given enough of my time. Me and my wife have invested on the children at the right age, and when they blossom out, we see that the results of it is that you cherish that out very clearly. So I believe in that.
What advice would you give to your 20 years younger self? You think there's any particular, mistake that you regret, that you think, oh, if I get a chance to get back, I'm going to remove this mistake? What is it?
I'm strongly denying that basically, because I never regret any of my decisions. One should never regret decision. Past is a history. So you need to look at what you need to do in future. The past brings you pain. The past, if you keep thinking, and whether it is in relationship, whether it is in thing, is that we always feel that from our viewpoint is what we have done could be justified, in comparing with others. We say that this should have been done like that, that should have been done like this. But I don't regret any of my decisions. I always own my decisions. So I don't have any regrets at all, and I don't have anything to go ahead and change, clearly. Yeah.
That's a very clear mindset. So if you didn't pick this career, what you think you would have been doing?
I would have been a lawyer. I'm a fantastic lawyer. I'm a fantastic PR person. If you give me a second chance, basically, I would have put a I've gone into a good PR agency, so I'm a great PR guy. I like networking with people, and I deep dive into law a lot. So I would have been a practicing lawyer probably.
Would you like to mentor the young entrepreneurs? If yes, what type of a startup would you prefer?
I would definitely like to mentor, yes, but I don't have any specific restriction with respect to the type invariably. But I would definitely be keen to look at in terms of mentoring if there is a right opportunity and right audience. Definitely.
So you don't have any concerns regarding the sector. There's no any particular sector that attracts you more. There is nothing
Absolutely.
like that.
No, the IT sector, which has been my predominant part in my career, always is pet to me. And
Okay.
but I'm not biased towards that. I'm quite open, and I'm very confident that various sectors which I worked through and which I didn't work through, also I'm very confident that I'll be able to do the mentoring.
Who do you thank for supporting in your career and life?
I first choice by default, it goes to my wife, who has been very, very instrumental, and she sacrificed her job for my career to really start moving up. And she took care of the children and the house and things like that. Been a great support even now in terms of understanding and accommodating at every point of time. And for my career turn of events, probably one of my mentors could be one of my earlier organization when I entered into the software field, basically into the ERP field. I had a very nice gentleman by name Mr. Ramanathan, and he was the CEO, and I was reporting into him as a controller. And I've learned a lot in terms of what is managerial skills and how we need to be approaching the work and the situation and the employees and empathy towards employees, all that. I think a lot of things learning. So these are the two. Yeah.
What do you think about StartupLanes? What do you think about the type of work that we are doing here?
Really, really good actually. And also I could see so many followers. And then I would say that you people are doing a great job. And what is very important today is that to tap the brains of the younger mind and then creative mind. I think that is very core. It is very easy to speak, and I can do a mentoring job of just speaking and going. But I think what you guys are doing and trying to put things in a structured way, I really appreciate the whole the team for doing this. Absolutely, really commendable job. Yeah.
That's so refreshing. Thank you, sir. How should people connect with you?
They can connect me through social media. I'm available on LinkedIn. I'm available on WhatsApp. I'm available on Facebook, but I think I prefer predominantly through LinkedIn. Yeah.
So that's all from our side. Thank you so much for making time out of your busy schedule. And we sincerely appreciate all your valuable thoughts at all aspects.
Yeah.
And now.
Yeah. Thank you, Sonal. Thanks for hosting me. And good to interact, and we shall continue to interact. Thank you.
Pleasure is ours.
Thank you.